Hey, I'm Carlin Felder, and I'm a real estate agent in the Hudson Valley, and I live in Beacon, New York. And I wanted to talk to you about Beacon and why living in Beacon, New York is a great place to be. So if you live in Manhattan currently or in the Brooklyn area, from Grand Central Station, it's about an hour and a half by train to get up to Beacon. The train ride is actually incredibly gorgeous. It goes along the Hudson River, and when you're on the train from Grand Central, sit on the left side of the train because you get a great view. When you're going back down to Manhattan, sit on the right side of the train because you'll have excellent views of the Hudson River. So once you get up to Beacon, you just get off the train and you can walk up to Main Street. And it's really nice because commuters love living in Beacon because if you buy a house or you rent near Main Street, it's an easy walk to get down to the train station every day. One of the things that's really fun to do when you come home from the train station is stop by Two-Way Brewing Company. They have great beer. You can catch views of the river, and it's a really neat place to hang out. Also, Bank Square is a great place to grab some coffee. So the train station is here. You just walk up to Main Street, up and over, and you can catch, all the great stuff at the west end of Main Street. The other thing I like about Bank Square is you have views of the Hudson River and Newburgh during the winter, mostly in early spring when the leaves are off the trees. You can sit on the patio outdoors. There's also live music. There's a great place to work. It's a great place to work if you're a work from home person and you want to go to a coffee shop and hang out and work. The other things I love about Beacon are the Main Street is the main attraction. You have tons of shops and restaurants all in one strip, which is kind of cool because you can pretty much get your exercise in and visit all the cool shops in Main Street. If you have friends coming up from the city, a great place to take them is Hudson Beach Glass because they have some really neat glass. They blow glass there and they make some really cool stuff. Let me see. So that's the west end of Main Street, pretty much covers this area around here. And then there's this middle section of Main Street. So you have like three different parts, in my opinion, of Main Street. You have the west end of Main Street, which is from Bank Square up until pretty much like Willow Street. There's Myers Old Dutch. And then you have this center section of Main Street that goes from like Willow all the way up to pretty much the 52 Teller Ave intersection. So you have a lot of restaurants. You have glazed over donuts. You have Zaytun, which is one of my favorite places to grab a bite to eat. It's Palestinian food, so it has like falafel and some really good other Palestinian stuff that I can't pronounce the names. And then you get to Teller Ave. Once you get to Teller Ave, you kind of have the other end of Main Street, which is the east end of Main. And the east end of Main hooks up with Fishkill Creek right here, which runs through town. And you have a couple of bridges, so you can see some really beautiful views from this area in Main Street. You have the Roundhouse, which was an old an old factory that they turned into a hotel and a restaurant, and it has a patio deck that overlooks the waterfall. You have the Fishkill Overlook Falls, which is this beautiful area here where you can go take some great pictures, go to Melzinga Tap House, grab a beer and a bite to eat, sit on their patio. If you're into breweries and you want some craft beer, Hudson Valley Brewery is a great place to go. And Dogwood is another place that's one of my favorites. They have live music. They're a good place to grab some food as well. And when you live in Beacon, the nice thing about Beacon is that it's pretty compact. So Beacon is pretty much, it pretty much just takes up this area. That's it. So, people do obviously live out here. Beacon does run a little bit further out, but the main part of Beacon is just this area, and everything is walkable to Main Street. Here's the Main Street, and you can see almost all the neighborhoods just are clustered around there. You have some really great parks in Beacon as well. About a mile from Main Street, mile and a half, is Madam Brett Park. It's got an old abandoned factory. It runs right across the Hudson River, right up to the Hudson River, and it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous place to be. And Madam Brett Park actually connects. There's like trails that go all the way back to Dia Beacon, which is one of the big draws that really put Beacon on the map. It's a museum and gallery space. It's really cool. So, and then Long Dock Park is actually gorgeous. Like if you're down at Long Dock Park at sunset, it's really a really cool place to be. Look at that. So, so Beacon. So about if you're going to move here, houses. The key takeaway for Beacon is the typical home is about $521,000. The prices are going up, and the market is very competitive here. It's definitely a competitive market. If you're looking at buying a house, it's best to have at least 20% down, and be able to, think about $600,000 range for most houses that are just move-in ready. Median list price is $570. Price per square foot about $338, and the median sold price is $511. When I got into real estate a few years ago, the average home price was around the high threes, low fours, and it's definitely jumped over the past 4 years. And this house is really cool. It's been on the market quite a while. It has great Hudson River views. It sits right on the water. It's gorgeous. Yeah, so you want to know about schools. The schools in Beacon are pretty good. They get good ratings. It's a good place to live. A lot of people move here because they like the proximity of living close to Main Street and being able to, walk from the Main Street area to school. You don't have too far to go. You have the high school and the middle school close to in town. So it's a good compact place to live with a lot going on, and plenty of things for your family to do. Or if you're single, it's a great place to live. If you're a single person, there are a lot of things you can get involved with, and a lot of great people to meet, a lot of good places to go out. Now, I don't think Beacon is known for its wild nightlife. Most of the restaurants do close between 8 and 9, so you're not going to be out late on the weekdays. On the weekends, some things that kind of make it difficult for people who live here are the amount of tourists, because it's such a cool place. A lot of people come up from the city on the weekend. You can see, just the proximity to the train station being right here and Main Street. Tons and tons of people come up. A lot of people like to just meander the street all day and, and then grab the train and go home, or grab the train and go down to Cold Spring, which is the next stop south on the way back to Manhattan, and, get off the train in Cold Spring and meander up and down their Main Street as well, because Cold Spring is really cute. It's about half the size. Their Main Street's a lot smaller than Beacon's Main Street, but it's a really beautiful compact area, with the train station just right there. So if you're thinking of moving to Beacon, some of the key takeaways are, it's a great place to live if you work from home, or if you're going to be commuting back to the city. It's also, it's like an hour and a half commute every day, each direction. So if you're close to Grand Central and you don't want to have to go too far once you get to Manhattan on the subway, then I think Beacon is a great place to live. It has the houses are older, and you're not going to get a lot of new construction here. There are a lot of condo buildings going up. And if you have the money to drop on it, and a condo that's going to have, a pretty significant HOA fee for you monthly, it's fine. There's not a doorman. These are not doorman buildings, so you're not going to be able to get into a condo with a doorman. But that's fine if you don't need a doorman, because there's really not much going on in Main Street. It's just people hanging out, walking around, walking their dogs, taking in the sights, grabbing some food. So, enjoying the exercise and the fresh air up in the Hudson Valley. So if you're thinking of Beacon as your next destination, and you want to look at houses up here, you're interested in buying, feel free to reach out. Contact me. I have a contact. If you click in the upper right corner, the upper corner, I think over here, there should be a contact. Check one of the corners. There's a button to contact me. And I would be happy to talk to you about looking at houses up in Beacon or in the Hudson Valley, because I work all over the Hudson Valley. Doesn't matter where, kind of go everywhere. I go all the way up to Hudson, which is pretty far away. It's like Hudson's up here, and Beacon is down here across the river from Newburgh. But I go all the way up there, Woodstock, Kingston, New Paltz, and pretty much all over Dutchess County, although I've sold stuff out in Callicoon, which is over here. So I'm happy to help you. If you're looking for a house in the Hudson Valley, or you're looking to sell your house in the Hudson Valley, feel free to give me a call.